Okay, seriously, this is getting out of hand now. Another real estate scam, another family out of 200,000, and another so-called builder that doesn't even exist. It's like every week there's a new headline. And at this point, are we even shocked? Because it's always the same formula. A fake name, a smooth talker, a stage contract, and boom, you're homeless with no legal leg to stand on. And you've probably felt this too. You're out there looking, you're exhausted by listings and bidding wars, and someone comes along and says, "Don't worry, this one's different. You can lock in now, prices will rise later. All we need is just a small deposit to hold the property," and it feels like a lifeline, but no one tells you that it could be a trap. And here's what no one is warning Canadians. These aren't just sketchy one-offs. No, this is becoming a system. One that's organized, calculated, with confident criminals exploiting cracks in our laws. And they're winning because our protections are failing. Hey guys, I'm Claudia Ragona. I'm one of the Ragona sisters, and I expose the cracks in the system so you can protect yourself and your money. Please like, subscribe, and share this with anyone trying to buy a home right now, because this is the kind of knowledge that protects your wallets. All right, so you hand over your deposit thinking this is it. Your chance, your family's future, and then silence. Days go by, weeks go by, months go by. That's when the fear sets in. You realize you didn't just lose money, you lost time, safety, and trust. But here's the truth. That fear can turn into a fire. So let's break it all down. All right, buckle up, because this isn't just some shady backdoor deal. This was precision engineered fraud designed to target trusting families with surgical accuracy. Moiz Kunwar, 28 years old, from Brampton, forms Paradise Development Homes Limited, a name almost identical to Paradise Developments, which is a legit GTA builder. He uses a fake lender identity called Empire Finance. He hands out brochures, he shows people stage construction sites, and even holds signings in spaces that look like law offices. And these families trusted him, with like $15,000 as high up to $200,000 in deposits, thinking these were pre-construction homes about to go live. First victim, Janet Campbell, gave Moiz $170,000. She left her rental. She prepared her kids to move, only to end up homeless and living in Airbnbs. Another victim paid $100,000 in May of 2024. And get this, months after CBC had already exposed the scam on national TV.
Last year and a half, a new company with an almost identical name has allegedly been selling the developers' homes, promising much lower prices and special financing. According to a PDHL purchase agreement we obtained, buyers were told they can't contact the developer, can't share details of their purchases, and the paragraph about getting legal advice is crossed out. CBC Toronto spoke with more than 10 people, the majority of them Black, who say they either gave deposits to individuals connected with PDHL, this mysterious company, one that we found isn't licensed to build or sell homes in Ontario. Corporate records show PDHL's first director was a man named Hassan Zafar. Zafar didn't respond to emailed questions, phone calls, or attempts to contact him at his Etobicoke home. CBC News has learned Zafar later registered a second company under the same name and listed Milton resident Conan J. Hamdani as director. Hamdani has a lengthy criminal record, and in June, at an unrelated plea hearing, a judge called him a career fraudster. He claimed to know nothing about the company when we reached him by phone.
I don't own the company. I've never registered this company, and I have to figure out what's going on.
Multiple people who gave deposits to PDHL or know someone who has say they handed their money to this man, Moiz Kunwar. We caught up with him outside his Brampton home. Tell us about your real estate dealings.
I have no real estate. I got nothing to lie about.
Okay.
It doesn't benefit me in any way whatsoever. I'm a civilized guy. I live a civilized life.
Weeks later, on the phone, Kunwar said he bought 2 homes himself and shared information about the deal with friends, but he denied taking deposits.
I suddenly started getting calls, and I was like, bro, this is what I did. And this was his number, and you can go do it too. That's all I did, bro.
Kunwar pointed to another individual, but CBC Toronto was unable to reach the person or verify their identity.
Well, everything is red flag right now. So I don't know.
Gurleen Cribb says she and her son handed Kunwar a deposit on a pre-construction paradise home in 2020. They were supposed to move in March, but so far have no keys, no home, and no answers from Kunwar.
And even after national exposure, you would think he would have been afraid of getting caught. But how is that even possible? Because Kunwar kept up the act. He came back with polished new contracts, promised fresh delivery timelines, and gave enough believable excuses to reel those people back in. And for the average buyer, it still looked legit. I'll walk you through how this scam played out step by step. This timeline, you will see how long this guy operated in plain sight. In 2021, he started the company Paradise Development Homes Limited. Sounded legit, right? That's because it's one word off from a well-known GTA builder, Paradise Developments, a total copycat move designed to trick people. In 2022, by this point, victims are piling in. He's giving out brochures, walking people through fake sites, telling them they'll move in by January. But then CBC gets wind of it. They do a full expose. It's on the news. And you would think that that would stop him, right? Wrong. He keeps going. 2023, victims keep signing. He starts changing his script. Permits are delayed. It's a confidential phase. And people believed him because he still shows up looking polished, wearing suits, and holding contracts. May of 2024, one man signs a deal with him and pays over $100,000 even after the CBC coverage aired. And that's how good this guy was at regaining trust. March 2025. Finally, the police charge him. Fraud over $5,000. Possession of proceeds of crime. 2 lawsuits, $170,000 and $100,000. He says he was just a sales rep, but that money, it went straight into his bank accounts. This man scammed Canadians for 4 years, even after being exposed and after being warned, and yet he still operated. So here's takeaway number 1. If the name's not exact, walk away. Check the builder. Go to Terrion.com. If they're not licensed, don't pay, period. Trust is earned, not printed on brochures. And you think this is just Brampton? Nope. Think again. GTA had 453 homes sold without a license. Surrey, BC, $5.1 million was stolen from investors and spent on luxury cars. BC again. Sisters ran a $2.1 million security scam tied to fake real estate investments. And this isn't just a few scammers. This is a systematic failure across provinces. And there's no national database and no consistent fraud warning and no fast action from the authorities. All right, if you're buying pre-con, investing in real estate, or even thinking about wiring money, memorize this list because these red flags, they're what separates a deal from disaster. 1 letter off from the builder's name, scam. Not listed on Terrion, scam. Rushes to wire money, scam. Doesn't use a trust account or lawyer, scam. Changes bank details last minute, that's fraud. Says no time for lawyer review, that's not a deal, that's a trap. It's not fear mongering, it's protection because these people are smart, they're charming, and they're fast. And they know your hopes are their leverage. So, takeaway number 2, slow is safe. Real deals don't expire overnight. If they push urgency, that's pressure, and pressure equals manipulation. If this has already happened to you or someone you know, here's what you have to do next. Collect everything from emails, texts, contracts, wire receipts, screenshots. Gather the proof fast. File a police report. Even if they say it's civil, this creates a trail. Call the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. It logs scams and may help connect victims. Next, connect Terrion and your bank. Terrion can confirm if a builder is fake. Banks may investigate fraud. Talk to a real estate lawyer. You may have options, a class action suit, liens, or even civil court. Warn others, write reviews, contact media, post it in Facebook groups. Share what happened, and don't blame yourself because these scammers are professionals. But when you speak up, you stop the next family from falling into the same trap. So, takeaway 3, you are your best defense. The system is slow, but your research, your gut, and your voice, That's real protection. As days go by, guys, I don't know, this country feels less recognizable. You're supposed to be safe, law-abiding nation, but it's like chaos and crime are becoming our new norm. And you would think by now we would have tougher laws, real consequences, better systems, stronger checks, but instead these scammers are more confident than ever. And why? Because they know that the punishment here is just a slap on the wrist. And they know they can steal your life savings, disappear back home, and still come out rich. And this isn't just a housing issue. This is a Canada issue. We need real reform, real protection for tax-paying Canadians. Look, I know I'm going off a bit here, but this can't be our future. If you agree, drop a comment below. Tell me if you've seen scams in your city. Let's make some noise because nothing changes if no one speaks up. Thanks for listening.